Hey everyone, welcome back to Mike Lewis Gaming. I am Mike, and here we have some trees we're going to get set up for scatter terrain. Got the gnarl tree here. This one's came in a toy set for one of my kiddos. We're going to use it. Most of these are 3D printed, obviously. This one we have to make a base for. We're going to use some foam sheets for that, and these guys got to be glued together. So we're going to do all that with the hot glue gun I have to my left. But we're going to start with this happy guy and get the base set for that, get those glued together, and then the next step will be base coating and painting, which I probably won't show the base coating aspect of it, but that should be alright for that. Push that down, make an indent. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it. There's an indent. Then we're just going to take our scissors and poke through it. Cut out a little bit, poke through it. Do little cuts, like make a star kind of. And we're going to take this, shove the big branch into the little hole. Pop it open like that. Get that to be flush. And she stands. This is a collection of some 3D things from Cults 3D and Thingiverse. Got Wolverine and Raven here for scale, just to show that they're pretty good like that. These ones are flat. They are 3D felt prints. It's all supposed to look like that. It came out nice and smooth on the top. No idea why. Don't usually have fells with my printer and whatnot. They go onto that. I don't know if the file was supposed to be separate and it wasn't or what, but they both felled like that, and they both have holes where these things are supposed to connect to. We're going to super glue that together. Might throw some glue onto this base or Mod Podge. Probably just glue, toughen it up a little bit. And then the next step that you'll see will be the painting itself. But we're going to do hot glue. We got this Shore Bonder here. I'll throw some of this on these holes. Be careful when working with hot glue because it's hot. Obviously, doing stuff like this is usually better because it bonds quicker. I have a plan for that, which will also require the hot glue gun, so we'll get to that here in 1 second. And again, you just fill in the holes a little bit. I wanted to do a forest actually with like a whole set of trees on it, but as the prints felled, I pivoted. I thought it'd be a cool way to show that if a print fells, it doesn't necessarily mean you should just throw it away. Oh, made that off. Spin it that way. Spin it that way. There we go. That's better. I made it uneven. So what we are going to do with the tops of these trees is make it look like that was intentional. So we have some chipboard that we're actually going to put down like so, and I'm just tearing these, literally just grabbing and tearing pieces off to make a little platform. We'll do the same thing on the other one, just to show that if it fails, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world and you have to throw it away. Accidents, mistakes, things like that happen. The actual wood here, balsa wood, but still wood. We'll use it too. Put this on the outside. It's like they tried to beef it up a little, whoever they are. And we'll have two nice little firing spots for elves, Robin Hood, you know, whatever. Just some cool stuff like that. We'll get those glued down with the hot glue gun. And then we will have a nice little break in the camera that you won't notice, where I am painting the base coats. And when I come back, everything will be base coated. Of course, you won't notice I'm gone because it'll be the magic of editing. So to you guys, it'll just go from this scene to base coating, or base coated. Beautiful. Then we have platform, and we can build ladders or whatever if we really feel like getting fancy with it. I'm gonna go with that. It's a magical type thing that like the elves made, or you know, somebody with magical powers like Raven. She decided that she needed to land there and did something with her stuff. You know, that doesn't matter as much as getting it in place. Like so. I don't think there's any benefit to hot glue over PVA besides speed. I really haven't noticed much of a difference personally. I could be wrong. I don't know if it holds up longer over time. I tend to use PVA for most things. I just find it more convenient, and you don't get big strings like that one. I will have some nice scatter terrain. That's not a bad little grouping of trees right there. You can work your way through. I mean, check that out. That's pretty badass, ain't it? Alright, but next scene will be us with everything base coated, and we will go from there. Okay, so everything is primed. We are going to use nutmeg brown, highlighted by khaki for all the wood. And we're going to use this real green for the trees. We're going to start with the big brush, and then move into the little guy for some highlighting with the khaki. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So nothing too crazy, nothing too expensive, but it should look nice when we're done, hopefully. I say that, it's probably going to look like garbage, but we're going to find out. I'm debating if I want to do any flocking on the bases, just to kind of try to, should probably do that on camera, just to try to make them look a little bit nicer. I haven't decided yet. Like this one could probably use it more so than some of the other ones. Just getting down a nice base coat of brown while blocking out the brown. It's not a base coat. Just over top of the white primer. I think I called it a base coat too. I use the word base coat a lot. I'm not a professional painter. This is not a painting channel. This is not how you learn. There's much better people to teach you how to do things on YouTube. Squidmire, Jazza. They both have very good painting styles, stuff like that. Bunch of others. Miniac, I think, has a painting tutorial. Black Magic Craft. So if you found me before you found them, that's, well, A, weird. But just in case you didn't know about one or some of them, they're all pretty big though in this hobby. So I doubt that you haven't heard of anybody I just mentioned, but just in case. You also have, if you like more robot-y type things, Bill Making Stuff, I really like him. But yeah, it's just a nice easy scatter terrain video what we're doing. Guess I'm not sure how in depth I want to go with the flocking and stuff. Might just get it done and then think on it. after they're done and I see what they look like. This one especially, I think I might want to, I'm probably going to put a screw in the bottom of this. I should have made that foam base a little bit bigger. But this video is kind of just like 3D prints failed. Have to pivot, see what we can do. So it works for me. I like it. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully I'm not doing a horrible job. These toys come with some decent textures already, as you can see. It has a little knot in it and stuff like that. They're not overly realistic or anything, but you see them at the dollar store or whatever. Or even some of those thrift stores that seem to be popular, at least in our area here in PA. Got thrift stores everywhere now, which I don't mind. I don't mind a good thrift store. Man, there seems to be one every other month. A new one's opening. But you can find stuff like that in those places for real cheap. So if you're trying to build up your scatter terrain, best way to do it's not to spend a bunch of money or a bunch of your good resin printing stuff. If you have an FDM printer, I think the cost is a lot more manageable for printing trees and whatnot. This tree looks pretty gnarly. I like it. I have resin printers. I don't like using that much resin on 3D prints for terrain. I like to do miniatures. I'm kind of addicted to them, even though I suck at painting them. But like I said in the first video on the channel, I'm hoping that by doing this channel, I'll be able to highlight what we're doing in our company and games, be able to play a lot of the games that I own that I can never play, and get better at the hobby itself. I think that would be pretty cool. Not looking too bad so far, huh? I don't know if I'm actually on camera when I'm painting or not. Maybe I should keep it over this way. Let's move these guys. That hot glue worked really well. Those things are stuck, which is awesome. That's what we wanted. And you'll be able to find a lot more realistic looking trees than mine, but let's do that. There we go. Get these boards painted. Trying to use the brush a little bit to kind of add fake texture to the wood here. It's working out alright. These are for me to use on my tables with my family when we're playing games. I don't need them to look like masterpieces, I need them to look nice. Or as North of the Border always says, good enough. Another great YouTuber. Does a lot of stuff with clay. So we are going for a good enough look. It's good enough for the tabletop. I think we're getting there. I think these trees will be a nice first start to our scatter terrain collection. Could be doing that since the whole middle canopy is going to be a different color. That makes it a little bit easier. And less paint on my hands, which makes me happy. Hoping to get all these done pretty quickly. It's not a long project. I'm hoping that this video isn't too long. I'll probably start editing even these ones. I didn't think it was going to be quite this long of a process to do trees. mean, it's not long as in day-wise, it's long as in YouTube enjoyment-wise is what I'm worried about. You guys watching me paint a tree over and over and over again. So after this tree video, the next scatter terrain stuff we do, A, probably have a little bit better of a setup, and B, I'm out of brown, we'll have a little bit better overall quality. But give me time, I'll get there. Time is the one thing we all have. Well, not all of us, but most of us have. It's time. So, in time, you get better the more you do it. I'll get better at doing these videos. You guys will enjoy that more, hopefully. And then everything will be alright. Alright, let's wash that stuff up. Get ready for the white, or the green. I was looking at the miniature I just primed. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint on camera or not, but because I really am not a good painter. Painting is not my strong suit. Game design I'm pretty good at. Playing games I'm pretty good at. Painting, not so much. But hopefully you guys are enjoying at least watching me struggle. I tend to enjoy it when I know YouTubers are struggling a little bit. A lot of them, they'll try to play it off like they're not struggling. And I'm not. I'm just telling you I'm struggling. That green's garbage. Awesome. Alright, we need another green. Uno momento, por favor. Go with emerald green. I like that color. That figures. Picked a color that was clogged. There we are. Yay, emerald green. This is by Castle. It's my favorite paint brand for minis and whatnot. Not sure if they should be. Not sure how good they are in like community opinion. But I like them, and that's what matters the most. Most things in this industry and hobby is preference. You might like certain games, you might hate certain games for no other reason than they're not your style thing. You might like certain paints more. That's still wet. Switch over to the little guy. Get him a little wet. Wet, wet, wet. Wet the brushes. I'll also get some random singing out of Mike. Mike does that. Let's try to get this white all coated up nice. I probably should stick with the big boy. Big boy seems a little bit faster. Yeah, we're going to go back to the big boy. Let's just get all the crevices with the little guy. It's less for me to have to worry about. Can't forget your crevices. And these are looking good enough. Alright, I'm going to finish and show you grand reveals. And here is the end result. How be posting not videos, but images later, either in the community tab or maybe Twitter or something. I think they turned out pretty nice. Definitely good enough. Have not got to do the highlights yet. I'll get to it. But from a table perspective, it's good enough. Alright, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. Leave me some comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.